Good evening, everyone. I hope the audio video is clear from our end, but we'll have to do that customary check that we do before the beginning, at the beginning of every YouTube live. So please let us know on chat if the audio video is clear, and we'll get started. Right, just drop in a quick hi on chat if the audio video is clear. Okay, I've gotten the confirmation from my team. Thank you very much. Let's get started, folks. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to this masterclass on business data analytics for MBA aspirants. Now, one of my favorite quotes on data is, "In God we trust, everybody else must bring data." I absolutely love that quote. This perfectly captures the reality of the corporate world, where managers are expected to take decisions that are evidence-driven and grounded in data rather than intuition alone. Intuition plays a role, but data is definitely more important. Now, as MBA aspirants and future managers, you will be expected to develop a strong command over business data analytics during your MBA journey. And this masterclass, conducted in collaboration with Goa Institute of Management, is designed specifically with that objective in mind. So the session will focus on the tools, the thinking, and the real-world applications of business data analytics. And as I said, it's specifically designed for pre-MBA students or MBA aspirants, like all of you in the audience right now. The session will be led by Dr. P. Balasubramanyam. He's the program chair of the PGDM Business Data Analytics program and associate professor at Goa Institute of Management. He brings over 20 years of experience across the IT and manufacturing domains, where he has led projects in predictive modeling and supply chain management, driving significant cost reduction and productivity improvements. His areas of expertise include AI, ML, and manufacturing analytics. He holds a doctorate in statistics from Sri Venkateswara University and is the recipient of the prestigious 2024 PRME Faculty Teaching Award in Operations and Analytics. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to conduct this masterclass for our students.
Oh, thank you, Jatin. It was really very nice that I saw a very good introduction about me. Yes. Okay. Thank you, and I welcome all my participants here.
Right. So, sir, I'll just take them through the structure of the session, and then I'll hand it over to you. First of all, I'm glad I was able to do justice to introduction. So, believe me, we've done this session before with our students last year. It was a very well received. So you're in for a very exciting session. I'm very glad that sir was able to take out the time to do this again this year. Now, folks, here's how today's session will be structured. Sir will begin with a presentation for the next 20 to 25 minutes. It's going to be very interactive because he has about 2 to 3 mini case studies or problems related to data analytics for you to solve live. So definitely take this opportunity and interact with him on chat. Once that part is over, the presentation is over, we'll move into an interactive Q&A session. Feel free to post your questions in the chat as they come up, but most of the questions will be answered after sir's presentation is over. But definitely interact during the problem-solving phase, right? That's a very exciting part of this session. Great. I'll hand it over to you, sir, and then I'll come back for the Q&A session.
Thank you, Jatin. Before going to the Q&A, probably I want to just introduce myself and my institution to the audience, and then I'll go to the real case studies. So I'll just trying to share my screen now. Share, okay, and I want to share my entire screen. Okay, so I hope you are able to see my screen now. You are able to see my screen now. Jatin, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So, hi students and others, welcome to this thing. I'll take a few minutes to introduce myself and then my course at PGDM Big Data Analytics in Goa Institute of Management, and then I'll go with very interesting 2 to 3 case studies actually. And please be ready, and I'm going to expect very, very intelligent answers from you for my cases, and maybe it might be You can really reach near to the answer, but nothing to worry. You can really feel free to answer. So I'll quickly go through my intro, and I'm working in core stock management as a uh, the, program chair and with data analytics faculty. I just move it to so that you can see that. Okay, it is a 2 years program and it is a registration program. And actually, in industry, what happens is some people are really tech savvy, some people are really domain savvy, but there is no bridge between tech and domain. So we are actually going to create managers who can bridge the gap between techno world and management world. I mean, like the people that we are training here are able to talk in the language of data science as well as management. So that is what we are going to do. And the people typically get into place like roles like data scientist, business analyst, and business consultant kind of roles. And in many organizations as such. So this is what I just wanted to tell about the course, and then we have a lot of I can say milestones starting from program started in 2018, got rank 2, rank 4, rank 3rd by different organizations, and we have I mean, like awarded as the biggest gold award in the 11th edition of Indian Management Conclave in 2021, and we have ACS accreditation as well. So this program has been well designed and as per the all accreditation norms of the best accreditation teams. And curriculum. The curriculum actually starts with a 15 days induction session where we want to bring all the students at the uniform level, where someone from arts background, someone from engineering background, someone from commerce background, we want to bring them at uniform level. Therefore, induction course is actually bringing them at a uniform level of knowledge and skills. That is what induction used to do. And after that, the program starts, and then the important point here is like a 5 months long summer internship. These are unique point about the PGDM Big Data Analytics at Coast of Management, because 5 months long internship giving you a good opportunity to actually showcase your skills in a data science project. Normally, what happens is every other PGD program have a 3 months or around 12 weeks internship where they will finish it in a very hurriedly, but data science projects really require time. So therefore, we have a 5 months long internship, and the courses you can see it will address the latest developments that are happening in the industry. For example, we have courses in term one, the basic courses, but in term two, we have courses like mathematical modeling, and then we have courses like advanced machine learning kind of thing. And when it comes to the term three, they are ready with facing the SAP interviews. For example, they are learning natural language processing, they are learning strategic management, and they are ready to face the summer internship project after the term three. When term three completes, they go for internship, and once the internship is completed, they come back with term five, and then here they are going to learn along with the electives. They are going to learn some new courses, for example, generative AI and prompt engineering, those kind of things they are going to learn. So course is designed in such a way that the term one is a building block, term two is content learning, and term three is something like advanced learning. These three terms will build a good I can say foundation to get a good summer internship, and then term five and six really making them to learn very depth into that particular thing. So based on the elective selection, actually students can go in depth about that. And actually, the important part of the management studies live projects. So we have signed MOU with many companies, and then they are giving a lot of internship opportunities. Here it is live projects. Actually, it is not like a kind of a regular internship, but when course is running, students can run as a part-time job on this live projects, and they can learn really a lot of things here. For example, we have a MOU signed with Delivery, which is a logistic company giving every year a lot of internship opportunities. We have KPMG giving a lot of internship opportunities to students, and then STTS, After Technology Talks of India, also giving a lot of internship opportunities. So Actually, it is like you're doing regularly your course, and along with it, you're actually doing your internship. So that's the biggest learning opportunity students will get in Goa. And then, of course, we have a data science lab that includes a lot of paid and open source tools like SAS, SPSS, Minitab, JMP are paid softwares, and we have R programming, NIME, and then Python, which are actually open source tools. The lab is equipped with all these things, and then we have the mentoring. Each student will be allocated with a faculty mentor who will train the students in terms of their skills, in terms of their learnings, in terms of their job opportunities, etc. So this is what environment here. And we have innovative pedagogy in each course. We have, for example, role plays, we have group projects, we have group studies, we have group presentations, and all those things will happen as a part of the pedagogy. And of course, we run a lot of international events. One of them is Beatathon. Beatathon is a national level hackathon. Of course, I call it now as an international hackathon because a lot of outside India uh, people are participating here. And then it's really in collaboration with SAS conducted every year at the Government Stock Management, become a very good event. And apart from that, we have a lot of international conferences happening at Government Stock Management. And of course, every month, students will get the opportunity to talk to industry leaders. Sometimes, on average, if you see, on average, per year, at least some 35 to 40 industry leaders will visit. If you take on average, every month, 2 to 3 industry leaders will come to the campus or in online, they will talk to the students and they will share their experiences. So, this is actually learning from the corporate leaders, and their experiences will be really helpful for the students. And of course, I just wanted to put one slide on the placement, and then it is around, for example, average CTC is 15 lakhs per annum. You can see that it is really, really high because of the management capabilities of the students along with the data science capabilities. For example, if it is a core data science, probably the CTC might be a little low, but it is not like that. It is management and actually data science, and hence the CTC is really very, very high. And then you can see the list of recruiters. Very, very high list is actually, I just put only few list here, but we have a good list of recruiters who come every year and recruit the students from the data analytics. And just on the admission side, you have to apply through your CAT, that GIM score, and then apart from normal CAT score, you have to appear for a GMAT, where I can call it as GM, analytical aptitude test. It will test your computer skills, it will test your normal numerical skills, kind of. And then after that, we have a personal interview. So therefore, you have to write this GMAT test after your CAT, and then final selection is based on the combined score above this. So this is what I just wanted to talk about myself and my institute. Now the important part I want to start about the some of the cases actually. When I'm talking about some of the cases, be ready. You can think about it, and then you can actually answer me in a different way and answer me in a way that really you feel important kind of thing. And before that, I just wanted to share 2 3 slides on, for example, what are the trends and skills that are really required for data science students who are actually aspiring in terms of say skills or in terms of careers in the data science. This is one slide I really show to every student whenever I go to class. It is actually called CRISP data mining. The full form is Cross Industry Standard Practice for Data Mining. And as you know, it is a kind of a cycle. It will start with the business understanding. You have to understand the business, you have to understand the domain. When I'm talking about the cases, I will tell you again about this. So you have to understand what is the problem, not from the mouth of the client, but from your understanding of what is the business problem, and then how you're able to convert that as a data problem. Once data problem you convert it, then how you are preparing the data. Once data is prepared, then how you are actually modeling the data. Modeling means you're applying different techniques like regression, logistic regression, or neural nets, anything like that. And then after that, you are going to evaluate your model. For example, you are using that with the test data, and then you are checking the accuracy, and finally, you are going to deploy it. So this standard cycle, what we call is crisp data mining, cross-industry standard practice for data mining, and this is a process every data science student should follow. But what is really, for example, when I show you a problem, when I show you a use case, when I show you a case study, what I'm expecting from you or what I'm actually looking from is number one, analytical thinking. For example, when I say case study, you may see there is nothing analytics can do there. But if you think really deep, you can find a lot of cases where you can apply your analytics there. And similarly, technical strength. Technical strength, my meaning is, for example, it is not just you can say that I will do prediction, I will do clustering. You have to say, okay, I will do prediction using regression model. I will do groups using K-means clustering. So you have to have a strong technical background about that. And multimodal communication. Multimodal communication is you should be able to communicate through your slides. You should be able to communicate through your vocabulary, through your speech, through your talk, and you should be able to communicate in different other ways. So that is multimodal communication. And enthusiasm. Unless until you are not interested in the topic, you cannot do anything. So therefore, enthusiasm, curiosity is one more important thing, and just out of box thinking. Out of box thinking really in this current generation, very important thing. You have to think really, put two steps back and then think as a whole kind of thing. So that is actually out of box thinking. So these are the five skills really required for all the data science students who are actually going to take career in the data science in their post graduation. And of course, we have very positive news. For example, from the 365 degrees website, what I can saw is data science has almost 47.4 percentage of job postings related to data science. That means very huge portion of the jobs that are posted are related to data science. And then we have remaining period like engineering, mathematics, computer science. But the data science plays very key and high level role, and that's really a positive news for us. And coming to the, I can say AI market actually, if you see the business research company report coming to 2025 to 2026, 27, 28, and 29, I can see that the cumulative annual growth rate is around 40% every year. Every year it is expected to grow by 40%, and then in the end of 2029, it is really huge investment on the artificial intelligence. It might be in different domains. It might be domain of healthcare, it might be domain of manufacturing, it might be domain of retail, but the investment is growing in all the domains, and then it is having very high future. Therefore, students who want to make their career in data science is really very good choice for them. And then really this market stats supports us the decision of taking a career in data science. And then that's what I just wanted to showcase this before going to the cases. Now, with this, I will just now planning to go to my cases now. I have two to three different cases now. Here it is like this. Some cases I will just show you the one or two slides, and then I want you to type and I want you to answer how you are going to solve the problem, how we are going to, for example, deal with that particular problem. So that is what I'm going to expect you. Say, for example, I open one particular problem and say, I will just talk about this particular project that I worked, and then I want you to answer me how you are, if you are in my place, how you are going to answer this. Diabetic retinopathy. It is actually a disease related to eye, where mostly diabetic patients will get that, and then when someone occurred with this disease, there is a very danger that they will lose their eyesight also. They lose their eyesight also. So that is something very dangerous and then very, I can say, prominent in terms of diabetic patients. What is the problem actually? Generally, people with diabetes have this eye disease, and then we call it as diabetic retinopathy. And then, when blood sugar levels in the blood actually really lead to lot of blood vessels clot of the blood vessels in the retina. When the blood vessels clot in the retina, what happens is you are not able to see properly. Actually, you can see that kind of clots in the retina, and that really causes the even I can say you are not able to see properly. Sometimes you may lose your eyesight completely. Okay, so this is what the diabetic retinopathy, and of course, as I told, the end problem is you may lose your vision as well. You can see I'm showing you two images here. One is the normal retina. You can see in the normal retina, you can see some nerves, and you don't see any kind of a clots, which is on the left side. On the right side, you can see the diabetic retinal image, where you can see that lot of blood clots. You can see the blood clots here. You can see the blood clots here. So this is what how it looks like diabetic retina. But what is the problem here? The problem here is like this. So, for example, I'm a diabetic patient. I'm going to doctor, and then I want to test my eye testing. So first of all, doctor will ask you, are you a diabetic patient or not? Then he will test my vision, and then he will do something like eye pressure test, which is we call it as glaucoma, and then he will take test for whether any cataract is there. Cataract is really different from diabetic retinopathy, but they will check for that, and then they go for fluorescein angiography, and then after that they'll go for optical coherence. So what is happening here is when I come to the doctor and when they finish all these tests, it will take months. It will take months because each test will take some break, and then it will take months, and finally sometimes it involves a lot of cost as well as loss of eyesight as well. So it is really very danger to go in a normal way. Normal way. So what actually a data science person can do? What is the I can say a data science person can solve here? So that is something my question to you. For example, you have already lot of patients data. You have already lot of retina images already. So how a person from a data science can help in this particular situation? That is one question I just wanted to push to you, and then probably I'll just take a few seconds to take my water, and then if anyone wants to answer this, put your answer in the chat, and then I will see that. So when I go to my LinkedIn chat, let me check whether I have something there. Okay, this window should come down, and then okay, I have to open it. Okay, let me open my new window. Okay, so this is a problem that I just wanted to, wanted you to think about it. It is really very bigger problem on our solving side, and then see, I'll go to my friend's website, and I'll go to LinkedIn, YouTube, and let me see if I get any comments. So let me mute here. I want to mute my sound here. Okay, so I'll close this. I saw some of the comments from the students that early diagnosis and all those things, but from the data science side, I can just wanted to tell you that we have a very nice data science tool that we applied here, and then when I'm working with my previous organization, we created very nice product out of it that helps this the diabetic retinopathy students, and what we call as image classification using artificial neural nets. Okay, what is that actually? What is that image classification? You know, there are different images of the diabetic retinopathy where you can see that I'll just make it into the presentation mode. Okay, you can see that if there is no diabetic retinopathy, the retina is very clear, and if it is a very high diabetic retinopathy, you can see a lot of clots actually. Okay, so there are different levels of images actually. Already we got it from the previous patients, and then what we did is we collected all these images actually. There are 3,200 images we collected, and then we classified that into 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 is no diabetic retinopathy, and 4 is very severe diabetic retinopathy. And we collected these images, and then we actually did the analysis. When we do the analysis, we can see that there is a class imbalance. That means the 0 cases are very, very high, and 1, 2, 3, 4 cases are very, very low. So we have to balance the data set. We have to reduce some of the high frequency sets. We have to increase with some artificial images in the low category, and then we have to balance the data set before going for the classification. And once balance act is done, then what we have to do is first we have to clear, or we have to do something called image cleaning. Image cleaning means all the images that are available in the x-rays are not very clean. We have to apply some cleaning methodology, and that is called Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur is available very well in Python and other packages, and we can do that very easily. And once we have done that, we have to crop the image, and after that we have to go for the image classification, where each image is classified into different classes. So first we will build a image classification technique. Once the image classification technique is ready, we will test that, and we will test that manually. We'll test that with the system, and now the system is ready with the classification technique. Once the classification technique is ready, we want to check how much efficient it is. For example, you can see on the x-axis, it is a machine. On the y-axis, it is the actuality. For example, there is no diabetic retinopathy, and there is no diabetic retinopathy by the machine is 0.75%. That's really very good decision actually. I mean, like, we are not at all classifying anybody wrongly actually. So 70% accuracy is very, very nice. So that you can see that on the diagonal side, it is really good. And finally, we created this, and then whenever a new patient comes, we will take the image of the retina, and we'll compare with these classes, and we will classify that into one of the classes. It is not a final, I can say, diagnosis, but we will give you an idea about what is the stage of that retinopathy, so that doctor immediately will take a call. He won't wait for all the tests, and he will take immediately a call, and this saves the eyes of the lot of people. So this is one case I just wanted to tell you where it has a lot of impact students on the on, close my YouTube thing so that echo is coming. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm doing the new voice. I close this. Okay. Jatin, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir, you're clearly audible.
Uh, is there any echo coming? Because I'm getting.
No, sir, we're not able to hear the echo The audio is completely clear.
So students, I finished one case. Now I just without data, I actually talked about one case. Hey, second case really very interesting case. Yeah, I mean like you have to think about it actually, and maybe sometimes I can take the help of Jatin to see the comments on YouTube because it is giving a little echo. But second use case, very prominent use case, but you know when you enter into a problem you have to think in a different ways actually. Okay, so in the sense that sometimes really data may not solve your problem, just a common sense will solve a problem, something like that. So I just wanted to go with this second use case, and I just wanted to tell you about this case. So this case is about a diesel injector pump. Okay, it is a very common component in the all the cars actually which are run on the diesel. So we call it as a diesel injector pump, and it will inject the diesel into the system that ignites, and then car will run on that. And what is the challenge? Challenge is currently it is taking approximately 5 minutes to complete the testing process. What is a testing process? Testing process is a cycle actually. Testing process contains, for example, I'll put it very simply. Testing process contains different stations. For example, station 1, station 2, like that up to station 12. And different parameters are tested here. Station 1, some parameter is tested. Station 2, some other parameter. For example, station 1, it is tested for electricity taken, and say station 2, it is tested for diesel injection. Station 3, it will be tested for temperature, like that. There are different parameters are tested. And remember, any one station, if the value is not within the limit, it is rejected actually. For example, station 1, we have a maximum minimum limits of 10 to 20. If the value is more than 20 or less than 10, it is getting rejected. So each station has minimum and maximum limit, and we will reject if that really not followed. So these are process, and then totally around 5 minutes are taking to complete this complete cycle, and that is the problem. Okay, but what is the data we have? I'll show you what is the data we have. That's a really interesting part here. So I'll show you what is the data we have here. Just a sample data I'll show you, and you can see that we have these three sheets of data. Number one, if you see for each station, what is the maximum, what is the minimum I have. Okay, that means if the value doesn't lie between these two intervals, it is getting rejected. Okay, so that data I have, and I have historical data of lots of diesel pumps where I know how much time taken in each of the station. For example, 12 seconds, 1 second, 35 seconds, 73 seconds, like that. This is the time taken at each of the station. And I have the last data, what is the actual value measured in the station. Okay, you can see the last column as a result. If the result is pass, means all the values are within the limits. All the 12 station values are within the limits, and therefore it is pass. If there is a value which is outside the limits, then there is no values in the remaining stations, and it is a fail case. For example, you can take row number 3. Row number 3 value up to the station 7, and it is empty in the remaining columns. Therefore, it is a fail case. Therefore, every station has a history of whether it is pass or fail, and I have all the data of what are the measurements. I have around 5 lakh data points on each of these pumps, and what is their values actually. So, and also I have the time taken actually. So this is the three sets of data. One is what is the maximum minimum limits. Second is what is the time taken, and third is what is the actual measurements. Okay, and the client came to me and he told that I'm actually taking 5 minutes to complete the testing process. So as a data science person, what you can do for me? For example, so this is the three sets. One is measuring stations limits, and second is time taken. Third is what is the values, and then I have the final results with me. very interesting manufacturing problem here it is. So therefore, it is taking 5 minutes. So that is a problem. How to actually reduce the time? That is really very interesting actually concept here, and that is really a problem where data scientists will solve. Suppose now you are in my place and you are given with this problem, you are given with this data, and you are asked to solve this problem is how do you solve. So that is what I wanted to check the students capabilities. Jatin, can you please read some of the comments if someone wrote there,
Sure, sir.
because
Sure. I'll actually, yeah, I'll read them from as and when they come on chat.
super super.
Folks, go ahead and type your responses in chat, and then I can read it out for sir.
That's a great help. Actually, what my I mean, like guidance to the students is when the problem comes, don't just listen from the client words. You have to use your own brain and you have to use your own thinking process kind of thing. I'll give you one simple example why your own thinking process really make a difference here. I went to the company. I went to the manufacturing unit. I saw where the testing stations are. There one biggest problem I saw. There are 12 testing stations. What is happening is 1 to 6 are arranged in a row in a sequence, and then there is a gap, and then 7 to 12 arranged with a particular I can say space gap. That means they are not next to each other. And immediately I asked this manager, hey, why you are not able to arrange all the 12 stations in a sequence? Because what is happening is after the sixth station, someone manually take the pump and put it in the seventh station. Okay, this is very common sense here. I mean, like there is no data science required for this. So I went them, I told them, what is the reason why you kept like that? They have their own reasons, but I asked them, is it possible to arrange all the 12 stations in a sequence? That is very common thing that I observed actually when I went in my first visit itself. I observed that, and that is what my first advice to them. And now, if you think about on the data science perspective, do you think that we can do something here? Do you think that we can do with the help of data something here?
So, Sir Shambhavi has a follow-up question. She's wondering if we can conduct the tests of all stations simultaneously.
Super, super. So there is a manufacturing constraint that we cannot do that simultaneously. There is a sequence. The sequence is defined by them, and maybe you may be allowed to do some small changes in the sequence, but it is not 100% possible to do it at once kind of thing. I mean, like you cannot do that at the simultaneous. That's the limitation we have, and
Okay.
maybe
Then, sir, there is another comment saying this seems to be a bottleneck impacting overall production.
correct. It is a bottleneck because I'll tell you, if you're able to reduce the time by even 30 seconds, that means currently it is taking 5 minutes. If you take it, if you do something and reduce by 4 minutes and 30 seconds, there is at least a 10 to 15% production increase will happen. So this is a really bottleneck. The testing time is really bottleneck. And that's really a problem for the client actually.
Right. So Riansh is asking, can we identify the choke points?
Yes, we can. That's the choke points means I can make it like this. Can we identify where rejections are coming from, where more acceptance are coming from? You can do that. For example, choke point means a problematic point. You can identify that, but you can do something to that particular thing. For example, in station number 7, there are a lot of rejections are coming. You can go to the station number 7 and then modify that testing process, include a new machine in that. So that is also a possible solution, but not really very impactful solution. Okay, so I'll go to my solution now because of the test of the time. The best solution is a three-dimensional solution that I propose, which is really successful. The first one is what I observed is from the data I'm telling. From the data, what I observed is there are some stations where for the last 5 years in the history, there are not at all a single failure. There is no single failure in the entire 5 years data at a particular station. That means that particular testing station is just for the namesake, because there is no rejection coming from the station. Why to conduct that particular test actually? So that is the first trivial solution. So what my advice to the students is, there is always a trivial solution for the given problem, because the client may not think about that, but you have to think in that particular direction. Is there any trivial solution? This is a trivial solution. Okay, trivial solution in the sense we can actually avoid that station. Why to conduct the test? Because there is no rejection happening. Why to conduct that particular test? So that is one. Second is sequence optimization. What I observed is, at a particular station, say for example 4, they are bringing the pressure up to some 1200 revolutions per minute, and then they are testing something. And in another station also, they are bringing RPM to 1200 and testing something. But it takes some time to bring 0 to 1200 revolutions per minute. Why can't I put these two testing stations next to each other? If I keep that, what is happening is, if I bring one time to that particular level, and I can test two parameters at a time. So sequence optimization is the second solution I have given. And third is important data mining solution, data scientist solution is, you can predict actually. For example, you completed 10 stations. No need to go for 11th and 12th. I can predict and give you the value of 11th and 12th in a fraction of second, in a fraction of seconds, because they are interrelated. There is a dependency between all the values of station 1 to station 10. I can just predict the 11th value and 12th value. No need to conduct the 11th and 12th testing. And because of that, you can save a lot of time. So these are three-dimensional solution we propose, and that really work better. And it has been implemented and then scaled in many, many industries. Therefore, students, when you are working on a project, you have to think in this. Number one, is there any trivial solution for this or not? Second, is there anything that I can do with a small minor changes? And finally, you can think of, is there any data mining techniques that you can apply so that you will really get a better solution? So these are three dimensions you have to think about when you are applying a particular problem to a particular industry. So this is my own experience I'm shared, and I'm happy to now take the questions, and then these are the cases I just wanted to discuss with you, and I'm open to now any of the questions. So Jatin, so that's all from my
Yes,
presentation. Probably I'm
yes,
ready to
sir.
take any of the questions actually. Yeah.
Sounds great, sir. So there are a few questions there. They are pertaining to the cases that you discussed with them.
Okay.
So Riyansh is saying, if the testing is hardware driven, what about multi-threading to speed up testing?
You're right. Multi-threading always comes with a little bit cost actually. Okay, multi-threading means what you're telling is. Just wanted to go back to my screen. I'm really new to Zoom. How to go back to my Zoom screen? I'm just thinking.
Uh, I think so. You can just stop sharing if there should be a toolbar there which you can
Super,
use to
super.
stop.
Thank you, Jatin.
No, no
Hey,
worries.
good. Multi-threading is really very useful thing, but it involves a lot of cost. For example, multi-threading, what you're telling is test one in sequence, test two in sequence, test three in sequence, where you can do parallel processing kind of thing. That involves a lot of cost, but in any manufacturing setup, really that is very, very tough to do. Okay, so therefore, multi-threading is not really a good suggestion from a data science perspective. Maybe it is a good suggestion from a manufacturing perspective, but not from a data science perspective.
All right, sir. The other question or comment that Kiran has is, instead of going from 1 to 12, can't we just go for a critical station and say if it's clearing the station, it will also clear other stations? If it's not clearing it, it will not clear other stations.
Super. You have to create a correlations between them. For example, you have to tell that, okay, if it is cleared in test and station 4, it also clears in test, station 6. You have to tell that This is a correlation coefficient between them. Correlation coefficient is 0.99. That means high positive correlation. Therefore, if you do station 4, you have no need to do station 6. So that is something you have to establish from the data. But for your information, when we see this, we didn't find any kind of these kind of correlations between the pairs of the station. Therefore, we didn't went to that particular solution. But that's a good decision. Suppose if you find a correlation, I really support that. You are thinking in a good direction. If you have a good correlation, yes, do station 4, avoid station 6 because high positive correlation. Hey, good decision. You are thinking in a right direction actually.
There is a general question on chat, sir. It came up before as well. It's very broad, but it says how to develop thinking in this way, in an analytical way, or
Good,
the
good.
way.
Students,
Yeah.
students, it is not like a one-day activity. Okay, it is not like one-day activity. What happens is, I'll tell you how to develop. First, you have to actually look at multiple cases, multiple projects. The projects are available. For example, if you take the multinationals or in the area of manufacturing, the area of healthcare, the area of retail, there are a lot of cases discussed in their websites itself. Therefore, first of all, you have to develop an interest to learn and to see their cases actually and see how they are proposing solutions. Okay, so that is one thing first you have to develop. Once you develop that, then probably you can get a something like a skill like, okay, they told like this, is it not possible to do or to think in a different way? You can very easily develop that kind of thinking. Therefore, first thing is you have to learn from seeing from the cases of the different manufacturing setups, different healthcare setups, different retail setups. You can see what are the problems they're solving. Nowadays, I saw a lot of companies are putting their analytical cases outside in their websites, and then you can just go through them. And then if you're able to understand them, if you're able to solve them in a different way, that creates a kind of thinking in an analytical mode.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that, sir. The next question, again, I think Riyansh has a case-specific question. He's saying, what if we intentionally introduce black Gaussian noise in data to force correlation?
Super. So this is a kind of I can say, to gain support for your argument, you're doing that actually. I mean, like you're introducing something really new in the data and is finding that. So usually I'll tell you, sometimes when the data is really imbalanced kind of thing, for example, uh, there is very less number of rejections happening at a particular station, then to build a model that is really doing very well at the end, I can use some of the artificial cases of that particular station and I can do that. But end of the day, what happens is it might not really tackle well the real world scenario or real time scenario. So therefore, sometimes if you introduce an artificial noise in the data, that has chances of working positively as well as negatively. Therefore, whenever it is forced, you can use that. Otherwise, my advice is not better go for that. But yes, I did like that because sometimes very imbalanced data sets will be there. I can go and introduce some artificial cases there, and I can build a model. But sometimes it is okay. Many times it may not be.
Right.
Especially students, when it is a healthcare projects, don't introduce any artificial noise in the healthcare data. But in the manufacturing cases, you can introduce some artificial noise. But healthcare is a very sensitive data, very sensitive information is there. Don't add any artificial noises there.
Right, sir. Thank you for answering that. So Riyansh has a follow-up comment. He's saying a GAN model may work favorably.
See, GAN model comes with certain limitations. Okay, it comes with certain limitations in terms of data, in terms of computational power as well, and all those things. Okay, suppose if you are doing a project for a individual company with a short data, with a limited data, limited computational power, GAN again creates a lot of problems. So unless until, for example, if a work is done with a simple knife, in that place you are using a big axe. Okay, it is not really required. So probably in this case, my suggestion is in this use case, really it is not required because I'm able to resolve with simple multiple linear regression. Multiple linear regression will give me very good accuracy. Why I have to go for really very advanced models kind of thing? When you're applying advanced language models, it comes always with some certain limitations, certain computational power and all those things.
Right. Thank you, sir. Folks, we are almost out of time, but if you have any final questions, please do send them on chat, and I can request sir to respond to that. We will take a couple of questions just in the interest of time. So there's one question saying, do you refer any articles or resources for getting the case studies that you mentioned, sir? Oh, wait.
Jatin, I guess
Can you hear?
new questions? Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Just checking once. 1 minute. I think yeah, folks. If you have any final questions, let me know. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Just one general question from my end, sir, I think which will help a lot of students. If every student needs to sort of work on building a strong foundation, right, in business data analytics. Is there anything that they can do before their MBA program to sort of, get a head start, or maybe just go through some basics? Is there a course or a resource that they can refer to?
Yes, Jatin, this is really very important. Yes, if they do like that, then it adds a lot of value for them. It adds a lot of advantage for them. Okay, so how? For example, there are a lot of online learning platforms are available, which having basic courses in three dimensions. First dimension, statistics. Okay, you have to learn simple things like correlation, regression, mean, median, mode kind of things, which is a basic statistics course. That is one thing.
Right.
Very important thing. Second thing is, no, we are running almost everything in the Python language. So therefore, if you are able to develop a small basic knowledge in Python, because I know ChatGPT is there, I have no need to code anything now, but you have a need to review the code kind of. You have to able to do some changes in the code. Therefore, basic knowledge in Python is required, programming language is required. That is second dimension. Third dimension, especially for the management graduates, what I'm feeling is they need to have a good communication skill. They have to express themselves in a better way that client can understand them actually. So therefore, is there any course on a communication skill, whether it is a oral communication or a written communication, that will be a good direction. So these three dimensions, the student should actually do something before joining MBA. But I know if they didn't do anything, they can recover that in the course of MBA. But still, if they come up with this training, then probably that is make them as a separate student from the rest.
Great. That's folks. That's really good advice. So I get this question a lot from 2IIM students. What should we do in the run up to their MBA? I think there are three sort of aspects that sir covered. Definitely focus on that, and that will really sort of get you a head start, help you get a head start in your MBA program. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing that. One final question, sir, and then we'll close the session. There's a question on chat saying, can a non-tech guy choose the BDA program at GIM?
Jatin, this is a valid question, Jatin, and then I'm actually hearing this question for the last 2 to 3 years. I'll give you some stats. Okay. In the big data analytics program, where we have around 180 students where I'm meeting every year, and if you see in that, around 30 to 35 students, or I can say percentage, 30 to 35% of students are literally coming from a non-technical background. That means They are coming from either courses like say BBA or BCom or something like a home science or something like a, BSc chemistry, physics like that. They do not have any background on the data science. But I saw examples where these students are sometimes really performing better than engineering students. Therefore, for the non-technical students, what is that I want to advise them is yes, it is really a good decision to take a career in data science, but you have to come up with 100% enthusiasm to like an open mindset to learn more and to do little hard work in the beginning. But end of the day, nowadays I can tell you I am not asking my students to code anymore because lot of GPT tools are available. Why you are spending waste of your time in writing the code? But your job is to understand the code, to take business decisions from the code that might be required. So coding is not really mandatory, which is really mandatory maybe 3 4 years back, but not now. Therefore, a non-technical student really can take this choice and make their mind to work hard in the beginning for 1 term or 2 terms, and then it is really very good uh, turning point for them to take their career in a different direction.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Thank you for sharing that. All right, folks, we've come to the end of the session. Sir, thank you so much for taking out the time. Very, very valuable session, and thanks for making it so interactive. The case studies that you discussed, I'm sure it must have helped students a lot. And folks in the audience, thanks for being interactive and participating in those case studies. I think Sir gave you a very good glimpse of what will happen in an MBA classroom. And this is just a teaser. So definitely, think about the aspects that Sir discussed, the three things that he shared, which was your statistics, Python, and communication skills. Definitely start working on that so that you can get a head start in your MBA programs. All right, Sir, thank you so much for taking out the time. And folks, before we go, GIM has reopened its applications. And their final deadline is, I think, let me just check. I don't want to get the
15th.
date. 15th. Yeah, thank you. I was confused between 15th or 16th. It is 15th of Jan, the final deadline. So GIM offers 4 different PGDM programs. There's one which is the core program. Second is the program that Sir heads, which is big data analytics. Then there is healthcare management. And there is also a finance program, banking, insurance, financial services. Right. So there are four PGDM programs that they offer. Their applications have reopened, and you can apply via your CAT score, ZAT score, or GMAT score. Right. So don't wait till the last minute. Definitely submit your applications right away. All right. Thank you, folks, and thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you, Jatin. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye bye. Yeah.